All right, we are live, 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 live. All right. Good evening, everybody. Just give me a moment. All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on wherever you're joining us from. Um, I know that we have a lot of persons joining us from different part of the world. So yeah. All right. It's so nice to be here again this evening. I remember last week we had the session for data analytics, and this week is for project management. Yeah, project management. Project management is one of the hot cake now. Yeah, everywhere you turn to project management. If you turn right, project management. If you turn left, project management. Yeah, so once again, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on wherever you're joining us from. I want to welcome everyone to today's session. The theme for this session says demystifying project management. So we'll be breaking it down in three different ways: the skills, the tools, and the pathways, right, that you can tread on how you can become a pro in project management. So my name is Adiola, and I'm honored to be the host for this session. So this session is brought to us by Beyond Class. Yes, we are trying to help our community members navigate the paths that they can tread when it comes to project management. We don't just want to offer you the course. We also want to, hold you by your hands on how you can tread on this part. And with me this evening is our beautiful facilitator, our pro in project management. In fact, when you're looking at her, you can already see that she's she's the manager, right? Yeah. Um. So. Uh. Hi Dolapo. Which of the link did you share? I'm seeing someone used the guest link. You're supposed to
Okay,
share.
so
You're
yeah.
supposed to share the YouTube
Hmm,
link. Yeah, not the guest invite link.
thank you.
Yeah.
I think I corrected that. Probably the person used the old message.
All right. I've removed the person actually. All right. So yeah, this session promises to be very, very insightful. So whether you are curious to know more about project management or you are already on that journey, like you're already on that path, right? Today is going to help you understand the real world tools, right? The career pathways that you can tread and the practical steps that you need to thrive in this field, right? So yeah, so before we begin, please, I would love you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah, that's Beyond Class. So please, if you're not a subscriber yet, please kindly click on that subscriber button, right, so that you would get notifications for our videos. Yeah, because whenever we do a lot of sessions, right, that you can benefit from. So please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. We promise that you would have a very interesting time on our page. And please also let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know your location. So I want everyone here to introduce themselves. So you can tell me your name and your location, where you are joining in from. And if you are a project manager, please let me know as well. let me know the manager, project managers that we have right on this call that are here to learn, right? So please tell me your name, your location, right? And you can also let me know if you're a project manager. Yeah. Um, you can also drop a comment, right? If you have questions, yeah, we already have some prepared questions for our guests on this call, right? But if you have any other questions that you would like her to respond to, probably as she speaks on, please kindly make use of the comment section, and I will try as much as possible to read them out and call our attention to it. So, yeah, once again, my name is Adiola and I will be the host. All right. Hi, Adezie from Lagos. I see you. Thank you very much for joining the session. Thank you very much. So, my name is Adiola, from currently joining in from Kwara State, Ilorin, Nigeria, and I will be the host for this amazing session. And with me on this session is Miss Adedolapo Ajibare. She's our facilitator for this session. She's a project manager, right? She's also an associate with Datalium. All right, but before I bring her on, or before I allow her to introduce herself quickly, I will just read out a bio so that we have an idea of who we have on the session. All right, so Adedolapo Ajibara is a passionate social innovator, a project management and data analyst with a strong track record in youth development, social impact, and organizational strategy. She plays a leading role in Humanidad Care Foundation, where she has helped drive initiatives that has impacted over 2,000 beneficiaries across Lagos through humanitarian and community development projects. Her work has earned her recognition as an SDG 1 advocate by the Humanitarian Awards Global. With over 6 years of diverse experience across the social impact, real estate, supply chain, and health tech sectors, Adedolapo has held strategic roles in project and operations management, business development, and client relations. She currently serves as the executive assistant to the CEO of Datalium, a leading Nigerian edtech firm, and sits on the board of GA Africa, an emerging education-focused startup. Adedolapo holds a degree in mass communication from Kwara State University, Kwasu, a firm believer in the power of self-discovery and leadership. She is committed to helping individuals, especially young people, embrace personal growth as a foundation for societal transformation. She continues to drive meaningful change, champion sustainable solutions, and inspire a new generation of change makers in Nigeria and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are amazed by that wonderful bio, please help me welcome Miss Adedolapo Ajibare. If you can hear me, ma'am, please kindly unmute. Let's
All
hear
right.
your
Thank you
your,
so
your, your,
much.
your
Thank you
project
so much,
your
Adiola.
project management voice. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you
Thank
very
you
much.
for the warm
Thank
welcome.
you.
I'm so honored.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, Adedolapo. I mean, I know that we have read your bio, but we would still like to hear your voice. We'd still like to hear from you. Like, just tell us about yourself. Let us get to know you, one on one. Yeah, so kindly introduce yourself to our audience. Thank you.
Okay, so I believe you've said most of the things. Yeah, I'm a project manager. I'm an associate at Datalium. I've worked on various projects, and then what else? I'm very passionate about humanity and the like. So I don't know what else to mention again. So, yeah, you've done justice to that. Thank you once more, Adiola.
Thank you very much. Someone in the comment section is saying global pim pim. Really? So do you want to tell us why it is global pim pim?
The goal is actually global, right? It's just a
Hmm.
nickname.
Okay.
So yeah, the goal is global.
Okay.
And thanks to
Okay.
the person.
Yeah, our facilitator is a global girl. In case you do not know, the goal is to go global. All right. Hi, Precious. Precious is joining from Imo State. Good evening. Thank you very much for joining in. So, I mean, just to before we dive right into the question and answer, so I mean, we've read a whole lot from your bio, right? And one key thing that struck me is you have passion for young people, right? You also take up the role, the lead role in Human Dad Care Foundation. Like you basically have passion for young people. So can you tell us like more about that? Like, I mean, why and all of that? Just give us the background story or the gist rather. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. I think it's a long story, but then I'll try to cut it short. So personally, an impact-driven person when it comes to making impact, when it comes to supporting people. It's something that has always driven me ever since I was young. Right. In fact, there was a time I didn't really see myself being in the NGO space because as a young teenager, I didn't really understand what it was, if there was something like that. But as I grow, as I learn, as I meet people, I get to understand that, okay, this is a sector, this is industry, okay, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what gives me fulfillment. So I think at a point, I think some years back, I had to like try it out by volunteering with an organization. And from there, I was able to see that, okay, I think this is what I'm meant to do, right? So it's something that is built, that is inbuilt. And I believe that every one of us can be the change. So wherever I go, I try to
Inbuilt.
make a mark or try to influence people to let them understand that they can be the change. And also, as an individual, I believe that I am currently part of society to make a mark, a positive mark, right? And it's going to start from somewhere. So it's better for me to be an advocate of that. So people would also see and learn from that and also redefine who they are. So wherever they go, they will know that they are agents of change. So yeah, for me, it's something imbued, something I'm passionate about, something that gives me fulfillment, it's something I love to see, right? So yeah, basically that's that. So whenever I am being called upon to do anything focused on impact driven, anything focused on making life easy for people. I mean, for it.
Mm. Now I see where the name like came from. Global pimping. Global change maker. Yeah, I mean that's a beautiful story to hear. Thank you very much for being a change maker. Right. I mean, if the society can have thousands of people like you, I believe the world will be a better place for everyone. Yes. Okay, so right, let's dive right into the project management. Yeah, demystifying project management. Like we want to break it down into pieces. Okay, someone is saying hi. Okay, hi Daniel. I see you. Thank you very much for joining. So yeah, let's break it down into pieces, right? Because I know that I mean we're in a tech world, the world is gradually evolving, the world is gradually, going tech and all of that, right? And I mean these days now when you turn right you're hearing project, when you turn left you are hearing management. If you are, combine everything together, project management, left, right, back, forth, everywhere, project management. So can you really tell us what project management really is all about? I mean, let's forget the English, the big name. So I don't know if you can, define it in a very more simpler way, right? That so anyone who doesn't even know what it is all about can even know now from this session that okay, this is what project management is all about. So yeah, and then another thing I would like you to. So I'm bringing two questions now in one. So what exactly is project management, and why is it very important in today's world? I mean, I believe project management cuts across different sectors in Nigeria, right? Either you're in the health sector, the education sector, whatever sector, right? I believe project management cuts across every sector. So why is it very important? Yeah, over to you, Aditolapo.
All right, thank you so much. Taking it from your first question, what is project management? So I'll try to break it down. It's actually not hard. Project management is just about planning and organizing, gathering resources to achieve a particular goal, right? It's more like you. One thing I used to say is that every one of us, we practice project management. We are all project managers. If you've ever planned a birthday party, you're a project manager. If you've ever planned hangout, wedding, you're a project manager. If you've ever
Okay.
planned probably a surprise hangout or show for your friends or family, that's project management, right? So it's just for you to understand. It's more like you trying to prepare food and you having to think, okay, what do I need for this food? How many people are going to eat this food? what's going to be the end goal of this food? Okay, if this food doesn't turn out well, what's going to be the plan B, right? So basically, that's project management. Having to sit down, plan, organize, gather resources, in order to achieve a particular goal, having a particular goal in mind. That's basically project management for you, right? And also your second question that says how important it is,
Why
right?
is it important? Yes.
It is very important because every day of our life we tend to plan things. Just like I said, I don't think that we'd ever have someone that has said, "Oh, I've never planned." It's from the little things, just like I mentioned, right? Hangouts, birthdays, events, even surprise parties. It is very very important because project management will make you understand what is needed, what are the things at stake, what are the things you need to achieve, who is going to be impacted by what you are doing, right? For instance, you want to plan, you are part of a team that is trying to plan an event for, let's say, a non-governmental organization, right? And you want to, let's say, you want to go to an orphanage home. Sorry, permit me, I will be using more of tech. I'll be using more of non-governmental organization industry in most of my
Okay.
examples, right? Because I believe that people might be able to will be able to relate to
Relate.
things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Mm.
so when maybe you're working with or you're volunteering with a non-governmental organization, and the team is planning to go to an orphanage home, you'll be able to look into, okay, who are those we are impacting? How many children are we impacting? What is at stake, right? Is this thing sustainable, right? What's the plan B? How do we get funds? Who are those that will be affected? Will this thing affect them positively or negative? So prayer management is really, really important because if it's not important, then there's no planning. Then there's no need of saying, "Oh, I want to plan this thing. I want to do this." It is very from beginning to the end. Even as an individual, when you wake up, plan what you want to eat, plan what you want to wear, down to coming to work. Is more like project management, right?
Mm.
Because you're able to decide, okay, I want to wear color yellow today. What effect is this color yellow is going to have on me? Is it that if I wear it, it's going to get stained easily or it's not going to get stained easily? Is it supposed to be
Mm.
the outfit of today? Is this like what's at stake? What am I going to
Mm-hmm.
is it that when I wear this thing, people will end up saying, "Oh, your dress is nice," or "Oh, yellow looks good on you," and all of that. So project management is really, really important in every day of our lives. Like we practice project management every day, right? So basically,
Yeah.
that's it.
Wow, thank you very much. Like bringing it down to the simplest way ever. Like I mean, I can relate with that part of okay, you trying to wake up, you are thinking of okay, what do I even want to do today? Like you're basically planning your life. So even in the littlest thing, even in the littlest things, project management is involved. I mean, let's forget the old grammar, the old English and all of that. So even in the littlest things that we do, project management is always involved. Like we are always planning on something. We are always thinking of okay, what is the end goal of this? And I think you said something as well that struck me. Like there must be an end goal. There must be an like a desired goal after everything. Yeah, and I think that really struck me. So yeah, thank you very much. So we have another question here from our community member. So I mean it's kind of long, but I'm gonna try as much as possible to break it down. So the person is asking that what are the most essential skills every aspiring project management or every project manager, yeah, every aspiring project manager should have both technical and soft skills. So I believe it's beyond you just probably thinking of what to do. Maybe there are some certain skills, there are some certain attributes, there are some certain things that you should have, right? Either technical or soft skills. So I don't know if you want to say something to that before I go to the next. Yeah, you are muted.
Okay, so yes, so can you confirm you can hear me?
Yeah, I
Oh
can hear you now.
yes, as the project manager, you actually need certain skills. So on the technical side, I think you would need to know how to break things down into smaller tasks. You need to create timelines. Okay, so timelines in what sense? I want to achieve this. Okay, I want to work on this particular project. What are the timelines? From so date to a particular date, I'm going to gather resource. From so date, I'm going to reach out to my stakeholders. from a particular date to another date, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You need to know how to manage resources, you need to know how to track progress. So when it comes to technicality, we have certain tools like Trello, Notion. But for me personally, I started with Excel because I believe that Excel is very much easier to use. So as a project manager, you must know how to use Excel. It is very important when it comes to technical skills. But when it comes to soft skills, and trust me, soft skills will get to save you the most, right? How
Mm.
you communicate, how you lead your team, how you manage pressure, and even how you adapt to things when things don't go as planned, right? And there was even a time that I had worked on a project long time ago whereby things were not really going on well. Plans, people were breaking out, right? Communication was not being broken down, right? And as a project manager, you need to know how to communicate. One thing I appreciate a lot is communication, right? And that experience taught me that managing people is also as important as managing tasks, right? It's a
Mm.
different thing to manage tasks and it's a different thing to manage people. And how do you manage people is to communicate effectively. So it is very important that you know how to communicate, know how to lead your team, right? So and again, project management is also becoming more digital, right? We have so much AI tools that can help you in scheduling things. Like I mentioned, we have Trello, we have Notion that can help you to build on documents. All of these things might not come easy, but I would suggest to start with Excel when it comes to technical skills. But when it comes to soft skills, just like I mentioned, you need to know how to communicate very well. You need to know how to manage people. You need to know how to manage tasks, right? You need to even know how to manage yourself under pressure, right? So these are like major soft skills when it comes to project management.
Okay, so thank you very much. And I think this already answer a part of the question that says what skills will project managers need to stay relevant. I think these are still the skills you would need
Yes.
as a project manager to stay relevant in the field.
And I
Yeah.
think also for that, continuous improvement, I would add to that as well. Continuous
Mm,
improvement.
mm,
Because just like I mentioned, we have AI tools now making things easier for people. How do
mhm,
you ensure that you bring in yourself to understand all of these tools? To understand that
mm.
this is how it works. This can make my work easy. Instead of having to do things manually. We have so many
By
tools that can
yourself.
make work
Mm-hmm,
for you easily. Right.
mm-hmm.
So you have to continuously learn. You have to you have to train, you have to go online, get resources, watch videos if possible. Not compulsory, you can also opt in for trainings. You can
For
also go for
trainings.
attend master classes, free master classes that would help you to make use of these
Upskill
tools.
yourself. Mm-hmm,
Yes,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
effectively.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, thank you very much. So I don't know. I think the part of this question, I'm going to come back to it much later, probably towards the end of the session. So yeah, I'm aware that, I mean, you have just spoken about upskill yourself, train yourself, go for classes, go for this, go for that, take courses and all of that. So I'm aware that there are so many certifications, for project management. We have Scrum, we have Agile, we have a whole lot. We have PMP and et cetera, like that. So, which of these certifications matters the most for someone that is just starting out, especially in this part of the world, like especially in Africa, right? Or let me say in general, developing markets, which of these certifications are like very, very essential, right? I mean, probably for someone who cannot afford to get all these certifications at a go, right? Or who can't even afford, because I know that these certifications does not come for free, right? They come with a price, right? So which one would you recommend for someone that is just starting out or probably at the intermediary level? Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that question. I believe so many people would also get to learn from this. So, when it comes to certification, I'll use myself as an example. When I first started my career in project management, I was a bit confused. I felt I needed certification, I needed to get certificate, I needed to attend classes, but to be honest, you don't have to feel much. You don't have to
Mm,
pressure yourself to get those
yourself.
certifications. Just gather that experience, and it worked for me. gather that experience, volunteer with organizations, look out for people that you know that you can work with. If you see this person is always working on project, reach out to them. Oh, I would like to work on this project with you. I like to be like, let's say you don't even have to start as a project manager. You can say I can start as your virtual assistant, I can start as your assistant, I can start as your project coordinator, right? Just to do something, right? Just gather that experience, because when it comes to seeking for jobs, it's not really the certification.
Mm-hmm.
Certificates are important, right? But you need to
Mm-hmm.
gather that experience, because at the end of the day,
Experience.
you have certifications, you need to even gather experience. For instance, if you want to register for the PMP exam, the Prayer Management Institute examination, you need to have certain years of experience
Experience.
before it will get approved. So, right, imagine you now chasing certification, and at the end of the day, when you want to write your PMP, there's no evidence. Then you start trying to gather or fake experience, which is not proper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
very important that you gather experience, work with people, volunteer with NGOs. I would suggest to volunteer with NGOs or even organizations that are looking for volunteers, maybe people looking towards organizing a show or event, and you see an opportunity of you volunteering with them, just to understand how it works, right? So it is very important that you gather that experience. We have certifications like Agile, we have PMP, we have Scrum, but if you don't have experience in all of this, you would not understand the structures of this thing. And it will just be like, oh, everything is just so hard. I'm trying to assimilate. But if you've been able to gather experience, trust me, when it comes to getting certification, everything will come easy. So I would advise such person not to chase certifications. But if you have a lot of experience, fine, you can start going for certifications. But someone just starting their career in project and you feel like project management certification is the next thing to go, no, I won't advise. I would advise that you gather experience, volunteer as much as possible, look out for opportunities, right? And then from there, you can now start considering taking certifications, because even
Wow.
employers, they don't really look at that anymore. Most of them look for experience. Have you
Experience.
handled the project from the beginning till the end?
Till the
Have you
end.
setting budgets? Can we entrust you with this amount of money to handle
Money.
this? Have you done something of such before? These are the questions that, so you need to go out there and source for projects, source for organizations that can support you. And from there, you can even get your recommendations, get reference letters to even kickstart your journey in the certification
In the
world.
certification. Wow, thank you very much. And I think this is very spot on. And I also think that this is one of the field where you don't have to chase certificates first. Like, more or less like other field where you need to like go for courses. Like this one needs experience, like needs real life experience. And I honestly count it as one of the easiest things to do, right? Because we have a lot of NGOs, right, that are looking for volunteers, some organizations that are looking for interns, right, either paid or unpaid. And I think it's very important that we emphasize on the part of maybe when you're volunteering, do not chase money. People now don't want to do anything for free again, right? They will say, oh, how much will I be paid and all of that. Some of these things are, you have to offer them, willingly and freely. And when you get on this volunteering thing, helps you get on the field, to be able to have real experiences, right? Where you join meetings, you are in the planning or the preparations phase and all of that. You get the experience of how it's being done. So I think that's very, very spot on. Thank you very much, Adidolapo. So now let's try to get real a bit. So now, I mean, when you define project management, you said it's from you trying to, sit down to think of what you want to do, plan things, prepare and all of that up until the ending, right? So now, can you walk us through a typical or the typical stages of managing a project from the initiation stage? I mean, of course, there must first be a thought, right? You can't just wake up today and say you want to do a project, right? You must first, start thinking about it, or probably, in fact, identify a problem first. I believe that's the first stage. You must identify a project, right? A problem. Either even let's take it to the ones that are relatable. Maybe you are even planning a surprise for person. I believe you must have had that thought of, oh, how can I make this person happy, right? If it's for NGOs, okay, how can I impact the life of this motherless babies and all of that? So I believe it all starts from our thoughts. It all starts from our mind. So can you walk us through the typical stages of managing projects from the initiation to the closure using a real life example? Yeah, over to you.
All right, thank you so much. For project management, we have five stages, which is just like you mentioned: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and control, then closure. So starting with the initiation, just like you mentioned, I believe you're also a project manager, so yeah, you're on track. So
Yeah.
initiation, having to identify a problem, a need. For instance, having to understand that okay, we have certain kids, they don't have. Okay, let me just take us through using an example of a project I had worked on. I think last year we had identified that okay, we have some students, they don't have basic school items like school uniforms, school bags, socks, and all of that. So we came up with a plan, right? Which is the planning. The planning. So we've moved from initiation, having to identify, okay, this is what the problem is. How can we support, right? Do we need to support at this time? Do we have the capacity? Are we capable of supporting? Then we move into the planning. This planning comprises of where we come up with a list of budgets of items, having to attach timelines to it. Okay, this is where we want to do this. This is the date we want to go. This is the budget. So we're able to come up with a budget. I think 700,000 to 1 million naira. Then we're able to come up with a timeline. Everybody was able to understand what they need to do in order to make a project a success. We have different departments, different people from programs, welfare, from the HR, from the logistics. They were able to, everybody understood their roles, right? And we also created some sort of checklist that comprises of what we need to do from the beginning to the end and then attach timeline to it. Then thirdly, the execution. So we started the actual work. We started buying, we started raising funds, sorry. We started raising funds, reaching out to people, stakeholders, right? Having discussions, creating logistics plan, and also designing flyers for awareness, coming up with a lot of strategy, raising funds, getting donations, and all of that. Then, fourthly, the monitoring and control. And this comprises of we're able to get some vendors to sew some uniforms for us. At the point, we had somebody back out from that project. One of our vendor backed out from that project, right? We had to like really switch fast, right? We had to like get somebody that was able to, even if it cost us a lot, not really a lot, right? But it wasn't really planned for. So these are the things that I even said earlier, having to adapt, right? Having to work or control yourself under pressure. So we're able to monitor everything, getting school items, the materials, vendors, and all of that. Then closure, we were able to the outreach was a successful one. We were able to get the uniforms, we were able to sew all the uniforms, and we are able to deliver all of them, right? So
Wow.
we didn't just even back out from it. So we still have some kind of cordial relationship with our stakeholders at that given location, right? So just like I said, five stages. We have the initiation, we have the planning, we have the execution, we have the monitoring and control, and then lastly we have closure.
We have the closure. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. That was spot on. So if you're a project manager and you do not know these stages, I think it's very, very important that you know the different stages, right? You're not just doing things like brr, like you're not just doing things anyhow, right? You need to know that there are stages involved in handling a project, right? If you really want to call a project success, if you really want to say this was or this is a successful project, you need to implement all those stages of project management. Thank you very much, Adidolapo. That was very spot on. So now let's talk about like probably some mistakes, errors, that people make and all of that. So can you probably help us list some common project management pitfalls that teams often overlook and how they can be mitigated, how they can be reduced or curbed? Yeah, I don't know. Do you get the question?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, over to you.
All right. So, when it comes to mistakes that people make, especially project managers, one of those key things, just like I mentioned, is poor communication.
Mm,
Poor communication. When you're unable to communicate to people what is expected of them. For instance, I'm a product manager and I'm working with programs coordinator, I'm working with welfare, I'm working with logistics. If I'm unable to communicate to them what we want to achieve, right? What are the expectations, the objectives of the project we're working on, the stakeholders, how do we want to achieve all of these things? What are the things to do and all of that? If I'm unable to communicate this better, it's going to cascade down to team members, right?
okay.
If you're unable to communicate with team leads better, it's going to affect team members. So communication is very important. And you
It's
know how
very key.
communication
Mhm.
is having to say A before it will get to the bottom line. It might change to Z. So it is very important that you ensure
Mm.
that that A gets down to the bottom line.
Remains. Mm-hmm.
It's A.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very important. And how do you ensure this? Constant check-ins, constant communication, constant clarification. Oh, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do this. Are we good? Are we good? Check in. Okay, how is this going? Do you need any support? What are the support needed? If you are not good, if you are not clear on this, please feel free to escalate or feel free to communicate. Or if possible, try to have a record of things. You don't just communicate by phone calls, communicate through emails, text. So it depends on the structure of things in
The,
the
the, yeah,
organization.
the channels of communication provided.
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
through just do calls, through text, and even having is a report structure system, having
Mm-hmm.
constant ways of getting reports from people. It could be weekly, it could be bi-monthly, depending on what kind of project it
The
is.
structure of
So
the program. Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
so communication is very, very
Very
important.
key.
Also, risk management. So most times the fact that you are planning a project or maybe you've worked on a project before and you think that you can work on it again and you don't want to even consider putting in considering risk. We have a lot of risk that can
Yes.
happen,
Mm.
right? So you need to have risk mitigation plans for your project. You have to, is it financial risk? Is it manpower risk? Is it skills risk? So many risks, right? That you can look into just to ensure that you're on right track. So even when it happens, you will know that
You are not
okay,
shocked.
seeing
Mm.
yes,
You have prepared
seeing this,
ahead.
and
Mm-hmm.
this is how to control it. So it is very important that you understand that. And also, there's something that they call scope creep, right? For instance, you are planning a project. The team already sets their mind to say, okay, we want to do 50 for this project. And at the middle of the project, everything just changed. I say, okay, we want to do 100. At times, it affects, right? And it just
Mm-hmm.
disrupts from the beginning, right? And so everybody starts, oh, where do we go? How do we go about it? And all of that. And it's going to disrupt the alignment. There will not be alignment anymore. So it is very important that even if we want to put these things in place, we need to communicate effectively. So those are like the major risks that I can mention for now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Adedolapo. That's very key, and you said it all. So I want to ask a question that can project management be self-taught, or is it something that you can get through formal trainings and all of that? I mean, I know that you said something around that when you were defining project management. Like, I mean, everybody is a project manager, right? So, but bringing it down to like maybe higher level now or advanced level, can is it something that is self taught, or it's something that you have to get through trainings, and all of that?
So yeah, for me, I believe it is self-taught. Considering my own, using my own story as an example, I believe it is self-taught. You can do that just like I mentioned. You can do that by volunteering, even in your church, in your mosque. For me, I didn't even start. I didn't even give myself the title project manager before gaining experience. I was just doing what I love doing, and at the end of the day, I got to know that okay, this thing is project management, right? And I also volunteered a lot. In fact, I love volunteering. I helped people plan events, support small businesses, and I even organize hangouts for my friends and for
So
my
people.
family. Yes, formal training is great, right? It helps you to understand the structures, the tools, the
Mm-hmm.
framework, but it's not the only way to acquire the skill, right? What matters
Mm-hmm.
is learning how to do it, learning the basics, right? Start with small projects. You can even volunteer to plan a class reunion, organize a church or a community event, or even help business owners launch a product, right? And you have to, you don't just plan freely, you have to pay attention to what you're doing, document
Mm-hmm.
your wins, reflect on it. That's real project management for you. So you don't just do things and say, okay, I've planned it. Reflect on it. What are the lessons learned, right?
You have learned. Mm.
I could have done better, right? Today I can relate better with people and even teams, right? Because I didn't even start by getting, oh, let me say certification or let me just go into it, right? I lived it, right? I lived
Mm-hmm.
it was something that
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through a lot of experience. I
A
had to go
lot.
through a lot of volunteering. I had to go through a lot of having to bring myself out of that comfort zone just to get that
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you can learn
Mm-hmm.
skill, but you have to back it up with real action. And
With
that's
real
how,
actions.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So experience is really the game changer here for project management.
Experience.
Real world experience.
Having to learn it, having the formal training, yes, is very great. Very, very great. But then again, I would advise that you live it, you experience
Live
it.
it by yourself. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Be on the field. Go to the field. Implement projects. Talk to people. Yeah, that's the real game changer. Yeah, that's very spot on, Adedolapo. So I have another question here from a community member that says, so can you share an example of a project that was thought to be doomed from the start? Means the project didn't have a great starting, like the starting was kind of poor, right? And eventually or ultimately succeeded in that project. So what were the key factors that influenced its success? Do you have any experience of such? Maybe the starting of that project was not great but eventually became successful, like, I mean, everybody was happy at the end of the day. Do you have that experience?
Of course, as a project manager, I believe you would, out of let's say 100, you will get to witness like 50 of project like this. So I've witnessed a
Okay.
lot. But one thing I was able to realize was that teamwork is very important. As a project
Mm.
manager, don't do things alone. Don't try to overwhelm yourself with things, right? Try to delegate. It is very,
Mhm,
very important. It's going
mhm,
to take off a lot of things from your neck. So it is very important to delegate.
mhm,
So yeah, teamwork. I've
mhm,
worked on projects that from the beginning we're already thinking that, oh, how do we achieve it? And considering the kind of sector that I work with, how do we get funds, right? How do we get people? How do we get people? So we have volunteers, right, across the group, right? And we have situations where people can only volunteer online, but they can't come physically. So we faced challenges of manpower, financial challenge, and all of that. But what worked out for us was teamwork. everybody gathering as okay, what are we to do?
Can we
What should
do exactly? Mm-hmm.
what can we do? How do we solve this? How do we get finance? What are the strategies that we can bring on board to make us to raise funds immediately? Or how do we get manpower? Should we start reaching out to families and friends to come on board to support us physically for the event and all of that? But one of those key things that worked for us was teamwork and continue to work for us is teamwork, right? Teamwork is very, very important. As long as you have people, great people that aligns with you, that
With your
believes in
goal.
what
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the goal,
Mm-hmm.
that believes in the goal. Because imagine you working with someone and you trying to tell the person, okay, this is the issue, and the person say, "Ah, I don't think this can work. Ah, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think can we just forget about this project, right? I don't think I've ever worked with. I don't like working with people like that. I work with positive-minded people.
Mm-hmm. Positive
Yes,
minded people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yes. So
Yeah.
having to pick your team is very important. You don't want to have somebody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Best thing, or what do they call it? You have to have optimistic people.
Yeah.
People,
Yeah.
right? People that are very oriented, have that positive goal,
Vibes.
right? People that
Positive mindset
speak,
like you.
yes, yes, positive
Mm-hmm.
mindset, like you said, right? So it is very important to have people like that on your team. Very, very important. So one of those key things that work for us was having to come together to work as a teamwork to ensure that okay, this thing is not going. How do we ensure that? And at the end of the day, everything works out well, right? So most times as a leader as well, I don't get to show fear to my people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always there to
Even
motivate
even when you
regardless.
are scared.
Scared, yes.
Even
Always
when
there
you
to
are
show.
scared, you have to show your face as a brave
Yes,
person.
because I see
Mm-hmm.
myself as a person of influence. So if I come up to say this thing is not working, this thing, how would they feel? Right.
Yeah,
So I really
exactly.
want motivating them. So these are little things that has worked for
That
me.
matters.
Having to call everybody to attention. This is what is at stake. How do we go about it? And from there, we get ideas, crazy ideas from people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think we
Mm-hmm.
should do this. I think we should do that. I think we should call out to these people. I think we should send mail to these people. I
Mm-hmm.
think that, I think that. So you start seeing people come up with crazy ideas, right? So one of you have to know the kind of people you are bringing into your team. Teamwork is very important, and also having a positive mindset as a leader
Mindset.
scale through a lot of challenges when it comes to project management.
Yeah, that's very spot on. Thank you very much. So, like the major key factors that can influence the success of your project is, I mean, one, communication. We have oversized on that several times on this session. Communication, investing in your teamwork, in your team members, right? You can't do it alone. You can't execute a project alone. You need people. You need manpower, right? And of course, every other things that she has said. Hi Zedik, I see you. Thank you for joining. Olami from Lagos, thank you very much for joining. I hope that the session has been impactful and it has been insightful. So yeah, we have just few questions left. So yeah, someone is also asking. So now maybe this person is about to start your journey. So the person is asking that what entry level jobs roles should a beginner look out for, and how can they tailor their LinkedIn or CV to land those opportunities? Over to you.
All right, so thank you for that question. So one of those things I would advise is that you don't just go out to look for project manager roles. You end up saying, oh, I'm looking for project manager. I have experience. I'm looking for. It takes a lot of experience, a lot of skills. So I would just advise that you also look out for entry level roles like project assistants, project coordinator. I started as a project
Program
coordinator.
assistant. Mm,
Yes, program support officer, even administrative assistants, right?
mm-hmm.
That is going to
Yeah.
be able to work on projects, even operations intern, right? So you necessarily don't have to look for titles like project manager or programs manager to even kickstart your journey. So even product assistants, when it comes to tech, right? Product assistants, programs and partnerships, a lot of entry levels. So you really don't have to like look towards, oh, I have to the title has to project manager before I go into it. So we have a lot of entry level roles that you can go for. And also for LinkedIn, I'm an advocate of LinkedIn, right?
Advocate. Yeah.
When it comes to LinkedIn, you have to, just like I mentioned, gather experience. So this is the best way to sell yourself on LinkedIn. You have to include things that you do while you are volunteering. And you can even put it there that you can even say yourself, oh, I like volunteering, I like planning hangouts, I like doing this, and even school projects. From there, you will see people reaching out to you. Oh, I have a project coming up. Is this something you can handle? Right? You have to make posts. Even if you are not part of the project, but you attended the event, right? Is something you can speak about and then tweak it in such a way that, oh, you're also looking forward to plan or to support in planning for a project like this. And also, while you're doing that, also highlight. So there's a part on LinkedIn where you can also highlight your skills, transferable skills like communication, organizing projects, organizing events, right? Problem solving, because it's very important as a project manager, know how to solve problems. Many things will come at you. And also keep your profile active. As a project manager, you have to be very, very active. You have to post your journey, how you started, what you're
Mhm.
learning, and even connect with people, project managers on LinkedIn as well, so as to also learn from them.
Learn from
Check through
them.
their, right? Feel free to follow me on LinkedIn, right? Check
Mhm.
through my profile. I don't mind, right? Just to see how things are being done. Follow people on LinkedIn. Check out their profiles. What are they doing? So it's not you copying them, right? Just looking at giving yourself that benchmark or how to start my career. What are the things to look forward to? How did this person start? What are the things this person are doing? How can I even reach out to this person to mentor me or to even guide me? So these are little so you need to be very, very active on LinkedIn. You have to, and there are some people they go to LinkedIn when they see people, that's why they just say, oh, hi, hello, thanks for connecting. You need to sell yourself,
Mhm.
right? You need
Mhm.
to sell yourself, explain, oh, my name is Adedola Pajibari. I'm a project manager, or I've worked on projects, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that, people impacted, this and that. I believe if I'm able to come on board for your project, I'll be able to do this, I'll be able to achieve XYZ and all of that. So, yeah, it's very important to stay active, right? So I think those are like the major things to share. And just like I mentioned, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn at Adela Pajibari. I'll be able to give you certain nuggets that would help you in staying active on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I can attest to the fact that Adeolakwa is a LinkedIn advocate, very big on LinkedIn. All right, I think she has about I think, close to 10,000 followers, or even more than now. So yes, so please go and follow her on LinkedIn. Yes, Chikodi is saying keep your profile active. Yes, don't keep your LinkedIn profile dormant. Right, keep it active. Post something. Talk about your even your failures. Talk about it and talk about what you have learned. Yes, talk about your failures, talk about the challenges, everything. Just document it, document your journey, literally document it, and you would see people, like-minded people that would connect with you, share few things, how they have also passed through that phase, how they have overcome that particular thing, how they walk through that part, and all of that. So please kindly keep your profile active on LinkedIn. All right, so we have just a few more questions to go. So, Adelakwa, I don't know, speaking to misconceptions now, or like myth, like misconception. So, what's that one misconception that you wish people would unlearn about project management? Or we don't have misconception in the field? Is everything? Yeah, over to you.
Okay, so for misconception, I think the major one would be as a project manager or project management is only for big companies or tech bros or people with fancy titles. The truth is, we've all managed projects at some point. If you've ever planned a wedding, organized a birthday, handled a church program, or even helped somebody move, properties, houses, right? You've done project management. So you don't have to wait for the project management title. So project management is not for people, it's not for the tech bros or big companies, right? It is in your own ability to organize, plan, lead people, and get results. So that's the real work. And it starts wherever you see it. So people used to say, oh, you have to do this, you have to get education, you have to do all of this, you have to be a product. It's a big role. No, I think it's a
Yeah.
conception.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, project management is in the little things that we do. In fact, every day say we are project managers of our life.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you're the
agree.
project manager of your life. Yeah, thank you very much. So I think we have about 3 or 4 questions to go, and I will keep them short. So you mentioned earlier that you have lived, project management, like you have lived that lifestyle. So I don't know if you've had um, any decision, any project management decisions that you have made and has had a significant impact on your project outcome. Like, has there been any decision, any specific project management decision that you made and you had or you recorded significant outcome, and then what are the lessons that you learned from that particular experience? I don't know if you have any so that you can share with us.
Mm, I think for me is operating open-minded, like open-mindedly rather, right? Just like I said many years ago when I started planning, I didn't know that this what I was doing was even project management, right? And to be honest, it opened doors for me.
Hmm.
I was able to see, I was able to understand that this is my passion. This is what I like doing, right? And I chased it. How do I chase it? By doing handling projects. Personally, I started handling projects for free, doing projects, planning for people. Oh, I have something, I'll plan it for you. Call me, I'll do it. I think it all started from school, but then I wasn't really intentional because I was chasing a lot of things, CGPE and all of that. But after school, I was always, oh, let me help people to decorate, let me help people to do this, let me help, oh, do you have a birthday? And even my friends reaching out to me, oh, Dalako, we want to do this. Where do you think is a good location and all of that? And it really helped me because there was a point I was seeking for a job and it was a project manager job. So I had to go back to redefine my everything I
Wow.
was seeking. Then I put all these free jobs that I had done, I put it on the CV. I was thinking I would not get the job. But trust me, I got the job.
You good. Wow.
And
Wow.
I had to even remove my past year's experience and then put all of
Experience,
it
just
and
to
it
keep
got
it
me the
short.
job. Yes, it got me the job. It wasn't really, they were not even paid jobs, but I just fine tuned my CV to make it okay. This was what I achieved. I included the data, what I achieved, the organization, what I did, and I got the job. It's not even made me fall in love to project management, right? To ensure that I keep on learning, I keep on chasing it, I had to go through some trainings too, right? So it was later I realized that, okay, I've been able to gather the experience. How do I get certifications to back my case? And I'm still working towards getting more certifications, right? That I believe is going to enhance all the experience that I have gathered so far, right? I was able to get a certification. My organization as well sponsored a training for me, project management training, which I had, and it was a successful one. And so many other trainings too, right, that I had embarked on, master classes. And that didn't even stop me from volunteering. Even my current role, I worked with programs and partnership team, work with projects, volunteer with to take up responsibilities, right?
Responsibilities. Mm-hmm.
Yes, project in the organization, you always find me there. Because of what? Because I want to learn, because I want to get that skill, because it doesn't just end there. The fact that okay, I've been able to get it doesn't stop me from learning because just like I said, the world is evolving. We have
Mm-hmm.
tools, we have a lot of things happening. So and I have to adapt. I have to keep learning, right? So basically, that's like the major one from my past story.
Yeah. Well done. You have truly lived it. Like if this is if life was called project management, you have lived it. Yeah, and I can say that well done, honestly. Yes. Chikodi is saying well done, Pim Pim. Global Pim Pim. Well done. Well done. Well done. So there is another question here, but I actually feel that we have answered that, in one of the conversations. But I don't know if you have anything else to add. So the question is, how can young individuals or students build experience in project management without formal roles? And I think that was where we talked about, volunteering, taking up roles. I don't know. Do you have anything else, like little things to add to that? Um, yeah, because I know that we've answered that already. All right. So yeah, so Zedek is saying sometimes the small moves are the openers of the big doors. I can't agree less. I cannot agree less in cap locks. I can't agree less. Yeah, that's spot on. So I think I have two questions to go. So back to the question I said I was going to ask. When I asked the question about what are the most essential skills that every aspiring project managers must get. So that question now is, how do you think project management is going to evolve in the next 5 to 10 years? Right. I know that we've talked about the skills that we need to learn to stay relevant. Right. So, I mean, skills now, both technical and soft skills. Right. So, how do you think it's going to evolve? Is project management going to stop anytime soon? Are we, I mean, is there an ending to it? So, how do you think it's going to evolve? Yeah.
I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Because just like I
Okay.
said, we live, everybody is a project manager, right? You waking
Mm-hmm.
up, you deciding that this is what I want to eat. You deciding that,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I want to take 2 derica of rice. I want to cook 2 derica of rice for 5 people. Is a project management skill on its own, right? And the only thing we can do is to adapt. Just like I mentioned, we have so many AI tools, right? We have Trello, we have Notion, we even have GBT, right? A lot of them, Gemini, that you can make use of. So as a project manager, it is very important that you adapt to these skills and to these tools rather. Ensure that you know how to make use of them. You have to maximize that opportunity. You have to make use of these things because at the end of the day, you just end up seeing yourself behind and people are already getting ahead of you. So project management is not stopping. Even wedding, event planners, is project management on its own, right? People building houses is a project, right? Um, Having to plan hangouts is a project. On the person handling it is handling a project, right? Because there's a particular goal you want to achieve. So
Achieve.
project management is not ending. It is everyday life. It is a lifestyle, right? So it now depends what you want to achieve. What are the goals set, right? And how do you want to adapt to what is currently happening? How do you see yourself adapting to things coming up in the future?
In the
How do
future.
you continuously open your mind to new things? Because you have some people that might say, "Oh, I don't know how to use AI. AI is for old school, this, that. You need to open your mind to all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
AI is
Mm-hmm.
never there. It's not even there to take your job. AI is just you
Yeah.
make things. It's just there to make
Mm-hmm.
things easy. So
Easy.
AI is like to take your job. Or AI is not. AI cannot start planning events. It can only give you steps or
Sure.
structures, but it
Mm-hmm.
will not come out to start saying, okay,
Start
who are the
planning.
vendors? Start liaising with vendors. Start preparing food or start doing this.
Or go on the field to go and implement.
And yes. So
Yeah.
you are the one to implement. You are the one to gather team, individuals, positive minded people to execute. AI can only help you to come up with plans or probably strategies to achieve all of these things. So, yeah, it is very important to adjust, take up these things, learn, continuously learn, gather experience, work. So, yeah, prayer management is not ending, right? You just have to adapt to the current changes, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. You have to adapt to the current changes. So you have to move as it moves. You have to shift as it shifts. Yeah, you have to upgrade yourself. Yeah. So yeah, the last question actually. So what advice would you give to someone that is just starting their first real project, right? Things they should do, things they should avoid, you know. What advice would you give to that person? Where should they start from? What are the key things to do, things to take note of, things to avoid, basically? Yeah.
All right. So I think one thing I would advise is if you're carrying out your first project or volunteering or working on your first project, please don't feel pressured. Don't feel overwhelmed. When I first planned my first project, I was a bit confused, but I had lovely people that worked with me and they were able to come together to achieve it. Right? People that believed in me, right? So don't feel pressured, right? Don't overthink things, right? Because I feel like everything, as long as you're open-minded, as long as you want to learn, as long as you have people around you, trust me, it's going to work out fine. So if you're here and you have a project you want to work on, or you have an organization you want to volunteer with, or you have something you want to work on, please don't overthink it, right? Try as much as possible to even reach out to professionals. Just like I said, my DMs open, right? You can reach out to me on LinkedIn and you can even get in contact, reach out to me, and I can also help you, right? If I can't help you, maybe not financially, but at least I can help you show some support on how you can achieve all of this. So yeah, you don't have to overthink it. We are here for you, for you. Feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Yeah, we are here. Adedolapo is here for you.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very
and
much.
I would appreciate the Beyond class for putting this together, right? You know, we have so many people that have a lot of questions going on their head. What is
Mhm.
project management? How is project management different from product management? All of those things, right? And I'm glad that Beyond class is able to put this together to be able to even answer questions going through people's minds. And I like the fact that people can even watch this after the events, right? They can always make reference to it. So thank you so much, Beyond Class, for putting this together.
Yeah, thank you very much, Adedolapo, for that. Thank you so much. So I mean, before I come up with the conversation, I don't know if you have anything else to say, like last thing to say, comment, and anything. Do you have anything to tell the audience?
Yeah,
Project
I think I've said
management.
it all. Just like I said, first thing first is to thank the Beyond class for putting this together. It really shows how intentional the community is about growth of its people. So yeah, thank you once again. And for the listeners, thank you for joining in. I believe that I've been able to share one or two lessons from my story. And also, just like I mentioned, you can always feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn if able to show support towards your career growth or even chip in some advice on how to go about your career as a project manager or even somebody trying to move into that industry. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I would also like to say that please kindly follow. I'm going to drop her name now in the chat, sorry, in the comment section. Please kindly follow her on LinkedIn. She drops a lot of nuggets, insights. You know, she shares her story and all of that. So please kindly follow Adidola Kwajibare on LinkedIn. She also posts about some certifications, how you can get professional, courses to take, how you can get certified and all of that. She shares that a lot. And most importantly, I know she did not send me this one, but I'm going to say it. So Adedolapo is the executive founder of Humanidad Care Foundation. I read that while I was reading her profile. So she owns a non-governmental organization, and currently, as I speak, because of, okay, don't let me say that. So currently, as I speak, she she's planning a project, right? The team and Adedolapo are planning a project in Lagos. And if you are looking forward, if you have never volunteered before, or maybe you have volunteered before and you just want to do more, right? You want to give back to the community. I know you are trying to learn how to handle a project, but it's also a means to give back to the community. So if you are looking forward, to do that, if you are to doing that, and if you are looking for opportunity, maybe you are saying, "Oh, I don't know how to find this opportunity. I don't know where to get them." So I am freely, announcing it now, right? So go and follow Humanidad Care Foundation on IG, right, and get more details. If you also follow Adedolapo on our page, you would see her, talk about that already. So they have a project um, where they are trying to clean up environment, solve that particular problem. So please kindly reach out to Humanidad Care Foundation on LinkedIn. I'm sorry, on Instagram, or you can reach out to Adedolapo on our LinkedIn that you would like to volunteer, right? Maybe for the programs department now, yeah, so that you would see how these things are being done and you can get the real life experience that you need, right? And I can tell you for sure that all these experiences are not a waste. They are never a waste, right? These are things that you can, put on your CV, right? That you have done, right? And you never can tell. Like Zedek said the other time, he said sometimes the small moves are the openers of the big doors. So the little things, the small volunteering, 1 month volunteering, 3 months volunteering, 1 week volunteering, you never can tell how these things would open the door for you. So yeah, I just thought to announce that. And I really want to say a special thank you to Adedolapo for generously sharing so much insight and value with us this evening, right? So if today's session has inspired you or gave you some sort of clarity, please take action. Start learning, start exploring, start managing projects, start volunteering, start giving back to the community. And in that way, we are also, learning a whole lot. Yeah, so thank you very much for joining today's session. I want to say a very, very big thank you once again to Adolapo and to all of our listeners. Thank you very much, Zedek, Chikodi, Adieze, Daniel, to a lot of persons that I can't mention, Ayo Daily Olamide. Thank you very much for joining today's session. And of course, you can always go back to our YouTube channel to watch or replay this particular session. And please kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel if you are not yet doing so. Thank you very much for today's session. My name still remains Adiola. And if you have someone who wants to take the course, Beyond Class in partnership with IT Experience is offering free, courses in different tech areas, and project management is part of the course. So if you have someone who wants to learn, right, please kindly you can also reach out to me on my LinkedIn, like or probably drop a comment on this section so that I can, connect with you and reach out to you on how you can take the course. And until next time, see you all again. Keep smashing your goals and keep doing amazingly well. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Abdulako, and
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye.